Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exciting episode of Trigger Warning Radio. I am your host, the Kaiju Conservative. So, folks, there comes a time where you have to ask yourself if Brenda Snipes and the entire staff of the Broward County Supervisor of Elections office, if they are really these criminal masterminds, or if they are just that freaking stupid. What do I mean by that? Well, Broward County managed to bungle yet another recount. So right now in Florida, we are in the midst of a hand recount for the Senate race between Rick Scott and Bill Nelson. This race was thrown into a hand recount because the difference between the two candidates was below the 0.25% threshold to trigger a manual recount. So Broward County seemed to be doing well after botching their machine recount, of course, when Saturday afternoon they actually discovered that the volunteers that were checking ballots and counting ballots were actually counting the wrong ballots. Yeah, no, it turned out there were a whole bunch of ballots from yesterday that had been counted already that got mixed in with today's batch, and that just that just caused all kinds of problems. Now, this of course comes on the heels of Broward County, like I mentioned, screwing up their machine recount, where they looked like they were going to be doing things on time, and Brenda Snipes was bragging about how well her staff was doing, and then they submitted their results 2 minutes late at 3:02 p.m. Thursday afternoon, when the deadline was 3 p.m. Thursday afternoon. And the reason why they submitted it late is, they say, because the employee that was in charge of submitting the results didn't understand the website. Yeah. No, totally legit. I'm sure nothing nefarious going on there at all. Now you'll also oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this botching of the manual recount today also comes after they just flat out lost 2,000 ballots in their own office. Yeah, no, you heard that right. The Broward County Supervisor of Elections, Brenda Snipes' own staff, the ones that she was bragging on earlier in the week, the ones that were so highly trained and highly motivated and competent and had been working their asses off for the last couple of weeks to get this done, just flat out lost boxes of ballots. It's Keystone Cops doesn't even begin to cover it at this point. Now, of course, you'll also remember the additional drama in the Broward County recount saga. We had of course, the machine recount was botched completely, and then of course there was the Broward County employee last Sunday who left a box of blank ballots in the back of an Avis rental car and left it at the airport. And of course, this was found and discovered, and Broward County Sheriff's Department declared it a suspicious package and shut down the airport because they claimed it was a bomb scare, and they brought the bomb squad out to investigate, and so on and so forth, which again was, I'm sure, totally legit. And then of course you had the Broward County Sheriff's Office doing its little voter drive in the Broward County jail system, and just conveniently managed to register Parkland shooter Nicholas Cruz to vote, and managed to register him as a Republican, which, I commented on this in an earlier video, but again, I'm sure it's completely legitimate. No nefarious motives or anything like that. And then, of course, Brenda Snipes, her office was continually finding, quote unquote, ballots up to 3 days after the actual election. Wouldn't tell anybody, refused to tell people how many ballots they had left to count, for even as late as the Friday after the election, when literally every single county, including Miami-Dade, the largest county in the state with the most votes to count, and the counties that were hit directly by Hurricane Michael, the single most powerful storm in recorded history to hit the Panhandle, managed to count their votes and get their tallies in on time. Again, Nothing nefarious about that, of course. Oh, and now now that Brenda Snipes is coming under fire by literally everybody, the Republicans and Democrats have criticized her for how inept she's been with this whole saga. Now that everybody's coming out and criticizing her, guess what? Guess what Brenda Snipes blames for everything? If you said racism, you are 100% correct. Yes, Brenda Snipes thinks any criticism of her office is because of racism. Not because she's ragingly incompetent, not because she is a potential criminal and has a history of voter fraud, voter suppression, and destroying ballots and evidence and things like that. No, it's because she's black. That's why everybody's criticizing her, because they just can't stand the fact that a strong black woman is counting their votes. Yeah, no, I'm sure. Folks, going back to my original question, you know, I'm seriously starting to doubt that the Broward County Supervisor of Elections office, that Brenda Snipes and her team, I'm seriously starting to doubt that they are actually smart enough to pull off any kind of voter fraud with all of these mistakes and how blatant this whole mess has been, and just one simple mistake after another, things that should be simple. These people are botching, you know, turning in the machine recount 2 minutes late and voiding the results of the recount. That's, you know, yeah, that could definitely be nefarious. That could definitely be, you know, voter fraud and suppression. But I think it could also be just chalked up to complete and utter incompetence as well. I mean, again, there comes a time where you have to ask yourself, okay, are these people actually committing crimes because they are hardened criminals, because they are voter fraud masterminds, or are they committing crimes because they are just so fucking stupid? Folks, I give it if I was a betting man, I'd give it even odds either way, 50-50 either way. they're 50-50 shot they are criminals, 50-50 shot that they are just ragingly stupid, and they're just bureaucrats that have managed to hold on to their jobs because literally nobody has ever looked into the Broward County Supervisor of Elections office before and how they have conducted business. I think that is entirely plausible given what has happened in Broward County and given what we know about everything that's gone on down there. Now, having said that, that doesn't change the fact that people down there need to lose their jobs. Not just Brenda Snipes, who is probably going to retire after this whole mess. If not, she should be fired as quickly as possible when Governor Ron DeSantis takes over as well. They need to lose their jobs down there, and they need to be charged with crimes and probably go to jail for everything that they've done. Because even if they are ragingly incompetent, that is absolutely no excuse. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. As always, if you liked what you heard, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Both those things help me out quite a bit. And I will see you all next time.